Hello and very welcome to the channel. First, again, I really want to thank all of you for all the support you guys are showing, sharing the channel, subscribing. So I'm very grateful. Thanks for that. In this video, I'm going to touch upon a very important topic, which is of data sets. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a preference tuned dataset so that you could fine tune your model for preference tuning. And don't worry, I'm going to explain all of these terms in a very simple language. Before I go into the detail of how to do that, let's first get some of the concepts clear. First up, what's a pre-trained model? Now, pre-trained models are the neural networks which are at the very start of the process, where we just pick up a new neural network or model, and we train it on a large general data set. It could be text from internet, it could be just free flowing text. That is what we call pre-trained model, which is just trained on a general data or from the web. It just learns general language patterns, relationships and context, and they can perform few tasks but not really that coherent, and they don't excel at any specific task. And once we have a pre-trained model, we normally need to do fine tuning for specific applications. For example, you want to fine tune that model on your own data set, you want to fine tune it on medical domain, legal domain, or whatever your requirement is. That is where instruction tuned model comes in. This model is fine tuned from a pre-trained model, and then it is trained on a data set of instructions or prompts. For example, you want to tell the model specific instruction, and then from there it learns to follow instructions, it understands task specific context and generate relevant responses. It excels at tasks that require following instructions such as text summarization, question answering, or content generation. And then comes finally preference tuned model. This is fine tuned from an instruction tuned model. It is trained on a dataset with user preferences or feedback. Now let me show you a few examples and you will understand it better. Let's see the dataset for pre-trained model. So whenever we have a new model which is not trained on anything, at the start we just give it this sort of free flowing data which has just text or some humongous amount of data which it just reads through and then learns to pick up vocabulary and then establishes relationship between this data. Now then we have instruction tuned model, where, as I was saying earlier, it is a trained on a data set of instructions or prompt. And this is what it looks like. We then tell it, okay, this is the instruction you need to follow, that summarize the following text, and this is the input to the model, and this will be the output. So when model gets trained on it, that okay, I have this instruction, this input, and then this output. In the future, whenever I ask it to summarize the text, it follows the same pattern because it knows that I need to do this. This is what we say instruction tuned data set. And then lastly comes a preference data set. Now preference data set grounds it according to our preferences or human preferences. This is how model learns to adapt to specific user preference such as tone, style, or language. So these are the tailored responses as per user's own preference. For example, I just want model to be humorous all the time or just speak it like Shakespeare. That is where we say, okay, this is the instruction, summarize the following text, input is this, output is this, and this is a chosen answer. A fox executes a precise jump over canine. It's a very formal answer, and rejected one is where it just says the correct thing but in a not a tone we wanted, so we say is rejected. So whenever, so we train this model on these sort of preferences or alignments, and then model gets aligned to our preferences or our chosen answer. So in the future, whenever this particular model, the preference tuned model, will be asked a question, it is going to give us this answer which will be more formal. So I hope this is clear enough. So in this video, I'm just going to create a data set which is preference data set by using Ollama and Llama 3.1 70 billion model, and I will simply give it an instruction data set in this format, and it will convert it into this preference data set. So just imagine if you have your own data, all you need to do is to just convert it into this format, and it is very easy to do it just by any Python script will do it, or you can ask ChatGPT or Meta to convert your text into this. Once you have it, you simply, by using the code which I will also share in my blog, and you can just copy paste, you can convert it into preference dataset, and then you can fine tune any model. And we will generate this preference dataset with a free model locally by using Ollama, which is one of the uh, best tool I would say out there in order to run and use large language models locally. It is just a wrapper on llama.cpp and uses C++ code to make models very quick and quantized. So this is what we are going to do. So let me take you to my local system. Let me go down. This is the one where I'm running Ubuntu 22.04, and I have one GPU card of 48 GB of VRAM. By the way, the code which I'm going to share with you, I think a good CPU or even a very low level GPU would be more than enough, like 8 GB, 4 GB RAM, you should be good enough. Before I do anything else, let me give a huge shout out to our good friends at Massed Compute who are sponsoring the VM and GPU for this video. If you're looking to rent a GPU on good prices, I will drop the link to their website in video's description, and I'm also going to give you a coupon code of 50% discount on range of GPUs, so do check them out. And I already have shown you my configuration. Let me clear the screen. Now, first up, let me show you that in the data directory, I already have this file where I have instruction fine-tuned dataset. I just created it by using ChatGPT. It just contains instruction, input, output, and there are heaps of them. So let me just get out of here. Okay, so now you know the data set. Let me quickly create a Conda environment. I'm always fond of this Conda because it keeps everything separate on my local system. Let's wait for it to be there. So it is installed and configured and activated. Okay, let me clear the screen. Now I already have Ollama installed. If you don't know how to install Ollama, please check out my channel. I already have done heaps of videos on Ollama. Very simple to install. So I'm just going to download this Llama 3.1 70 billion model. The size is around 39 gig. So let's wait for it to get installed and make sure that you have that much space on your system. And the reason why I am going with this 39 gig one is that it is quite performant. But if you don't have that much space, you can go with 8 billion one. Model is almost downloaded, and now it is going to verify the checksum of it. Okay, so checksum is also verified and model is going to be available anytime now. And because it's a huge model, that is why it is taking a bit of a time. And we have the model now. I'm just going to exit it because I'm not going to play around with it. We just want to convert the data. So I'm clear the screen. Next up, let me launch my Jupyter notebook in the browser where we will be creating the data set. So let's wait for it to get launched. It is going to launch it in the browser. And there you go. So we have our notebook. Let's specify the file which I also showed you. I am opening this file with JSON, and I will show you the data set length and first record. And there you go. So you can see that this is our file. We have 176 records, and it looks like something instruction input and output. Next up, let's define some of the functions, and I will describe what exactly these functions are. So this is first function, which is simply formatting the query, our entry, our instruction data set. This is our instruction, this is our input, same as above. And then if there is nothing else, it will put it blank. We are simply formatting it. And then next up, this is a function we are querying the model, sorry. So this is a model which we have already downloaded. This is the default API endpoint where it is listening. and this is the data where we are specifying model, message, options, and then similarly we are issuing the request, and also we are specifying the header here. And next up, let's define a function which is going to. So if you look at this code, what is happening here is that we are generating the model responses, we are going through that data set, and then if we are finding that okay, if a response of the tone of the data set is funny, then it is going to do it very funny. Otherwise, it is going to rewrite to be serious and professional. So let me create that function. That is done. And then next up, I'm just going to generate the model responses, and we are going to write it in this file. So let me run it. And depending upon your GPU, your size of data set, it is going to take a bit of a time. So it is working through all of those rows. So let's wait for it to finish, and then I will show you the resultant file. And there you go. So the response has been generated. Now, if you look at this response, and if you go here, you can see that it has produced some of the content which is not that eligible here. So let me open it in the file. So if I open it in the file, the resultant file, you see that we have now our preference data set where we have instruction, we have input, we have output, and then we have rejected one and chosen one. So when model is get trained on these sort of data set, it is going to always go with the chosen one where it is a more serious tone. And of course, you can simply change it as you like. So that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, and you can see that how easy it is to create a new data set out of your data as per your own preference alignment with the help of a local free model which we just saw. I will drop the code which I have used in my blog, and I will drop the link in video's description. Play around with it. Let me know what you think. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, please share it among your network as it helps a lot. Thanks for watching.